maybe it's afternoon now for you. Today we're going to start our very own greenhouse, and we're going to see if we can grow something, but also watch and see how a plant starts to grow. We talked about the plant's life cycle, how it starts as a seed, and then how it grows into what we call a seedling, which is where it has a sprout on the top, but it also has roots growing, and then it grows into a plant. But we also talked about the different parts of a plant, where it has the roots, it has the stem, and the leaves. So we're going to see how many different plant parts we can grow on our plants. So we're going to need a couple of different things today. You're going to need your greenhouse paper. You're going to need your baggie from your mailbox. And then you're going to need the page that says Greenhouse Journal. You only need one of these squares though, but then I want you to use all 4 of these squares, okay? Each week for 4 weeks, we're going to look at our greenhouse, and we're going to draw what our bean or what our seed looks like. In this case, our seed is a bean. So what I'm doing first is I'm going to set up my book. So I cut around the outside. I trimmed off that extra. And then I'm going to cut on the thick black lines. I really don't like that the bottom of my document camera is so thick now. It limits what you can see. And you couldn't see all that much before. Alright, so now I have 4 pages to record my data. Okay, so I cut these squares, all 4 of these squares. Okay, I'm setting those there, and then I'm cutting out one of these greenhouse squares. If you have a stapler at home, I don't know how common it is for people to have staplers at home. That's why I went ahead and got your bags together and stapled them for you. But I was forgetting about the book. So what I would do is I would put it on top like this, put a staple, so that way I can flip it up. Okay? If you don't have a staple, maybe you have a hole punch. Maybe you could fold the corners over. Maybe you could paper clip them. Okay? You can be creative with how you do this. So for our book, we're going to write our name. Wow, it feels like it takes me forever to write my name. Then on the inside, we're going to do one observation today, so day 1. We're going to do another observation on day 7. And another observation on day 14. I'll tell you when these days are, don't worry. And then another observation on 21. On day 21. So we're doing day 1, day 7, day 14, day 21. And that's the end of the book, right? Yep. Okay. Our book for right now is done. So I'm going to move it off to the side. Let's get our greenhouse ready. You're going to cut just these dark lines right here. And then I'm not sure why it didn't cut or print the whole page. If you want to maybe have an adult help you draw a straight line that you could cut down on the side, or maybe have an adult help you cut the side if you wanted to. And then you could cut, I don't want you to cut the bottom section out. I want you to leave that section. You can't, we'll just do that. We'll just cut this part, okay? And then we are going to, you probably will need an adult's help to cut the center of the section out. So we're going to make a window for our bag to hang in. This is just giving it a cute little house, but we want to give it, but we want to hang our bag in it. Okay, So here's our greenhouse, and I left the bottom part. You can cut this. It would be easier to cut this. Sure, let's do it. Let's cut the bottom. Then you won't need an adult's help to cut the inside out. Okay, so I chopped the bottom off. Now I'm going to cut up this solid line, over this solid line, down this solid line, okay? Perfect. Oh, I don't want to cut too high, though. In this part, you want to take your time so that way you don't cut too high. We don't want to cut all the way up. We just want to cut the square out. Okay? Then, so this is what mine looks like. Move this down a little bit. Okay? Can you see the end is gone? The bottom is gone. It's like I don't know what that is. All right, so now that we have this, we are going to write our name on here. I wish I had a brighter pink marker so that way you could see it. And then we're going to write the date. Today is the 26th. So we write it 4-26-21 because usually for the year we just write the last 2 digits. Then I want you to color your little pieces, okay? I'm not going to color all of mine just for the sake of time, but I want to color my carrot just to show you, okay? And then I will continue. With our beans, the one thing that I did not mention, and I also forgot to do to mine last night, so I'm going to tell you how to get them started, but I have to do my soaking as well. Before you get ready to plant your beans, I would like you to soak them for 5 hours. So if you take all of your beans out of your Ziploc baggie and just put them in a cup or a bowl, but a cup would work, and set a timer or make a note to check the time when it's 5 hours. And then I'll show you what to do so that way when 5 hours is up, you are able to plant your beans, okay? So I colored the carrot and I'll color my other 3 things later. This is a radish and I think that this part is usually like a purpley red and then a green if you wanted to color it. It's real colors. Or you could use your imagination and have a creatively colored radish. I'm going to move this off to the side so you can see. So here's my Ziploc baggie. I have some beans on top of the staples and some beans are down here. You should have 5 beans and I want you to make sure that you take out all 5 beans. Sometimes if they're under the staples you might have to wiggle them back up, but they should come out. If they got under there, they should come out. So remember, before you plant these, we need to soak these in a cup of water for 5 hours. So I'm going to take mine right after I finish this video, and it'll be about 9, so 10, 11, 12, 1, 2. So at the end of the day, before I leave, I will put my beans back into my bag, and then I'm going to hang it in the window. So you're going to soak these for 5 hours, okay? Once you're ready to plant your beans, so in 5 hours, you will want, please ask an adult to help you. You have a paper towel in your bag. Don't pull it out. It's stapled so that these staples are here, and it's also holding the paper towel, so you don't need to pull it out. But you want to get it wet, but you want to just get it damp. It doesn't want to be soaking wet. You shouldn't be able to wring it out. You just need a couple of drops of water in it to make it get the whole paper towel wet, okay? So just drop some drops on it and watch the paper towel absorb it. And once all the paper towel has absorbed a couple drops of water, then you're good. You don't need a whole lot of water for this, okay? And the paper towel is going to keep it moist in there, so that way it will be enough water. But I want to show you what to do with your beans when you get your beans, okay? See these rows of staples. We want our beans to be on the top of those staples. So I noticed some of your staples are a little far apart, and you might have to make sure that your bean is sitting on top of a staple. Some of the staples are only the length of the paper towel, so you want to make sure that your beans are not off the edge of the paper towel. And that's okay. Really, you're only putting 4 beans in here. I gave you an extra bean. After you soak it, it will get softer. And if you want to cut it in half, we can look at the different parts of the bean. And I forgot to soak mine because I was going to show you on our video. But I will soak mine and then I will cut it in half, and I'll post the video of cutting it in half and kind of showing you the inside of the bean. So our paper towel is wet when we're planting it. It's just damp, just damp. Our beans are sitting on top of our staples. We don't want them down here. We want them up higher. We're going to seal our bag, okay? So we're giving our plants water from the paper towel. We're giving our plants air. There's some air in here. I didn't take it all out. But also, we're creating a greenhouse effect by trapping in the air that's in there. And the sun is going to create steam too, or condensation. So then we're going to put our house over the top. We're going to flip it over. I'm not going to do this right now because I still have to plant my beans, right? But you're going to tape the top and the sides of your baggie to the paper, so that way it's going to look like a greenhouse hanging. Okay, so you want to see your beans from your greenhouse, but when you hang it, you want to hang it so your beans are facing the sun. Okay, you want to hang it so your beans are facing the sun. So your beans will be towards the window, so you might have to go outside to look at your beans. Or you could take it down when you look at it and then hang it back up, okay? If you do have questions, please let me know. If you want me to, if you're watching this now, and you want me to film the, when I plant my seeds at the end of the day, you can ask me to do that, and I might do that anyways, just to show you. And then we'll talk about our greenhouse journal, okay? On day 1, I want you to draw a picture of what your beans look like after you plant them, okay? What do they look like after you plant them? We're going to watch and see how our beans change. But don't forget, what you have to do right now is soak your beans in a cup of water for how many hours? 5 hours, okay?